Hello, it's Wednesday, and if you've stumbled here, or you found us, or you navigated your way here, I'd like to welcome you to engagement. Well, welcome. For those that don't know me, my name is Doug. I also go by Doug the Efficient. I'm also known as Doug the Foodie. I go by many names. You have stumbled into what we call the Wedding Pro Expo. For those brides and grooms, those couples that are getting married, it's a third annual endeavor to talk to people and show them who's out there in the industry. And I have to be perfectly honest, I'm a little under the weather today. But as they say, the show must go on. So I'll do a little less talking and a little more showing, and we will get through this. So today we have this is our third episode of this series. And if you can believe it, we're into season 7 of doing the engagement show, which the engagement show is not just about weddings, but it's about engaging people to talk, to learn, to have a meeting. That's what the dictionary says. So we have two unique people, because when you look at weddings, it's not just the officiant, although that is very important. Without an officiant, you just have a wedding themed party. And it's not about the tents and the chair covers, but those are all very important too. It's also about the pre and the post of a wedding, the finding the gifts that you would sort of pre-approved. So we want to talk about gifts, and we want to talk about cakes today. Who doesn't love cake and gift go together? Birthdays, anniversaries, there's a cake, there's a gift. So it's only fitting. So I reached out to one of our friends who was on last year, and her name is Mary Lynn, and she's from Barrypatch Collectibles. So I'm going to bring her in here. We're going to get talking about, there you are.
Hi.
How are you?
I am great. Doug, I just want to make sure everyone knows it's Barrypatch Boutique now.
Boutique.
Because if you put collectibles in, then you still will get stuff, but it actually doesn't exist anymore.
Right. So, old habits die hard.
Yes, that's okay. I just want to make sure everyone heard that. So
you walked into a well-established boutique that everyone visited on a regular basis, and that's probably going to happen for a little while. It's been a year though, so congratulations.
Thank you.
It's your first year under your belt, so I'm sure that troglodytes like me will get the name right sooner or later. So let's take a look, because things have changed there, and we're going to talk about your tip shortly. But you have a registry, and I know that when you got married, you used a registry. And I know when I got married, I used a registry, because we have this philosophy, or this theme, this color palette we want to stick with within our home, and we have a certain style of that we want to express, that people would be so kind to buy, that would go with our collection. So I want to show some photos of things. You can talk about them.
Okay.
This one here.
Okay, so in this picture, you're seeing a variety of things, some pillows and wall hangings, but down below, you'll see Maxwell Williams, a lot of it, but not dish sets. So serving trays, serving plates, those kinds of things. We have lots of those in the store. So
absolutely, and very important to have an array of those as well. Do you want to talk about? Go ahead,
Doug.
Do you want to tell people about why it's so important to register, in your opinion?
Sure. That was going to be my tip. So.
Oh well, we don't. Well, we won't take
do
tip.
Tips.
We'll leave that. Leave the people hanging.
So I discovered last year, new into the business and new in the store, and I had a few wedding registries, and I found out how important that is to certain people. So, not kidding, I had people calling me, I think before the registrations were even completed. Like, there are certain people who really want to buy you something. They want a little keepsake for you to remember. This was given to me by my aunt and my uncle John and Denise, and they want that. So they may even give money, but they come in to me and say, "I'm going to give them money, but I want something small to go with it." And they may pick out a piece of pottery or something like that.
Right.
So,
and I don't think that it's as complicated as people might think it is. You're going to come in, you're going to walk around and talk with, associate from your store, and they're going to say, "I like this, I don't like that," and that way you can record what their style is, and that's very important. The worst thing you want them to do is to be bringing back, a gift that they just didn't like, didn't hit, didn't, match their style.
yeah.
Then it becomes problematic to go back to that person and say, "Do you have the receipt?" Because it's also, people might find it insulting because now you're saying, "I really didn't like your style."
Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. Here's another great shot of the store with some products. You want to talk about that?
Sure. So in this picture, you're seeing a variety of different wall hangings. So some are, your typical picture. Some are more of an abstract art type of hanging. And there's a mirror there. There's a couple of little small tables down below the mirror. So all kinds of little home decor items that you might want for your home. And I think, when you're first getting married, I think creating a loving and inviting home as you begin your new married life is likely a priority. And so a store like this one where it is home decor, you might find some great things that you would like to add to your house.
You're right, because you are creating a home, and they say that home is where you, rest, where you feel, lifted up and safe. So having the decor that suits that is extremely important. Another decor one here for you.
Yep. So those are three, and they're large wall hangings. I have quite a few large ones, and just found a new company that I don't have their work here yet, but it will be within the next couple of weeks with smaller pictures too. So
Nice. When we saw this one here, pottery. This is my go-to for a lot of things. Pottery is such a fun thing to give that people will treasure and display and use for special occasions, or use to drop their keys in, right, at the end of the day.
Yes, it can be that too. This is Hillborn Pottery, most of that on that wall, and which is a Ontario company out of Cambridge, and it's been here forever. It was here when Barb owned the store, and is a huge seller for gift giving for weddings, big time.
Absolutely. And then, charcuterie boards. I mean, we didn't even know what a charcuterie board was a few years back, and now, that and sourdough are all the rage.
Yes. So I have a large variety of charcuterie boards. I have two different gentlemen that are live locally, one outside of Forest and one outside of Dutton, who are creating those for me. And I also have chopping boards. Sometimes people see the charcuterie boards and think they're cutting boards, but they're not.
They're not.
No, they're not to be cut on.
They're display boards.
They are display and to serve your cheeses and meats and olives and crackers on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they are not a cutting board.
No, but I do have cutting boards that are handmade by these same men.
Oh, perfect.
As well. So yeah.
Perfect. And then, who doesn't love some accessory pillows and throws, right?
I have a lot of pillows and throws in the store because I like them a lot. So large variety of pillows and throws, and a whole bunch more pillows coming in probably this week sometime. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So tell the people what it is they can expect when they come to your store, just so that they have an idea of exactly, they're getting a sampling here, a bit of, they're seeing a bit of you, they're hearing a bit about the product, but, I know that when you walk in, there's an atmosphere that you have created in the store, and I know that you guys are very helpful when it comes to helping people find their way through, and so talk about your store a little bit.
Okay, so if you're just visiting the store, you're going to get a really nice warm welcome when you walk in, and then if you want to just look and you don't need help, I'll leave you alone and let you look. And if you want some help, I'll do that. For a registry, I would recommend, after doing a few last year and not doing this, I'm going to recommend that people call and make an appointment. It's a very simple, or email me. So you could email or call the store and we could make an appointment to do it, just so that there's a time. And maybe we could do it after hours or before hours, or a time when other customers may not be in here. It might be more convenient. It's very informal. I do it all by hand. I write the bride and the groom's name and the dates for all of the showers and the weddings. And then I let the bride and whoever is with her, it may be her groom, it may be her mom, it may be her friends. And then I just handwrite everything that she chooses to be on her list.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
And then when people come in to buy, then I have that list. And I
Nice. Well, I mean, because you can't remember it all. And,
definitely not.
no matter what they say, you can't remember it all. And, sometimes, you have to have that price range so people realize that, I want to spend more than 100 or less than 100. And maybe it's an add-on gift. Or maybe you're, I don't know if you make baskets where you can put together a few items. So it's, more complimentary as well. Do you do that?
I certainly do. So with cellophane and I can do all kinds of baskets like that. So typically more on a serving tray, and then put things on top of it and wrap it up with cellophane and ready to go. I also gift wrap here. So if you want your gifts wrapped, I do that here too.
Excellent. So if you've not been down to check out the Barrypatch Boutique, you really should check it out. It's a great spot. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of really cool stuff. And I wouldn't say that, now I have to preface this, I don't understand what, even a loaf of bread costs. So I just spend. But I know that you have a wide range of pricing in the store. Mm-hmm. So whether you're looking for something that's top of your budget or, middle budget, it's there. So.
Yeah, I think probably the most expensive large picture would be the most expensive thing in the store, and that's $340. So $340 and down is where my prices are.
Yeah, and you can always, team up with other couples to make it, because it's a painting, a wall hanging. It's a pretty splashy gift as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so I'm going to bring in Nina, and we'll talk about some sweet treats. So,
okay.
Nina,
thanks, Doug.
Thank you. Hang around. We'll talk some more.
Mm-hmm.
So Nina is Sweet Treats by Nina, and I've had her sweet treats, and they are definitely wonderful. Nina, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. I did you two plus one other one on last year, and it worked out really well because you guys were similar in the way that you thought about, planning weddings and getting the proper products or cakes or giftware. So I'm really happy to have you guys back again.
Thank you.
I want to dive into your cakes. I have literally gone face first into, I think, your cupcakes. You make all of your cupcakes and your confections, and I know we don't have a picture of everything you make, but you make it all yourself.
Yes, from scratch.
You must be tired. Tell us about that.
We're just getting over Valentine's, so yes, there's a couple day recovery after that one. But yeah, we make everything from Portuguese pastries to custom wedding cakes. Just about anything you would need treat wise, we strive to make it.
Nice. Yeah. Now, I mean, the Portuguese cupcakes, they're actually called natas.
Yeah.
Those are done by hand. This is not a factory made product. This is made with all kinds of tender loving care. So, and they're delicious.
Thank you.
I want to show some very typical wedding cake, like this one here.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Nice, beautiful cake, some flowers, nice, beautiful icing.
The flowers matched the bouquets, and it had 2 flavors. There's a top tier and a bottom tier, and they were different flavors, one for the bride and one for the groom.
Well, the groom should get something too, right?
Absolutely. We do some fun ones too for the groom.
I'm sure you do that. I saw some other fun ones you've sent here. And then sometimes, people want just an assortment of cupcakes.
Correct. Yeah.
Which are handy and easy to do. And,
and can be
during
color
COVID, they're certainly safer to pick up one and away you go. And these are gorgeous. This looks very time consuming to me.
Not as bad as you think, but it's more the mixing of the colors to match either their bridesmaids' dresses or their flowers. That's where more I think of the time consuming is when it comes to those that are custom colored.
So not all bakers. Um, I would rather call you an artist than a baker personally,
Thank
but
you.
not all of them customize the colors or the
Correct.
flowers to match. So talk
Correct.
about that. I mean, that takes some work.
So basically, what would happen? You have a meeting with the bride. She can either show colors that she's using for linens or a bridal party. She can show, or they can show. I've done some grooms as well. What they're looking for, and I do my absolute best to match. It's not always 100%, but we try to get it at least 99.9% accurate to
Absolutely.
what they're looking for. And I think it makes it a little more customized, a little more special that way, because it's custom fit to them and what they would like to see.
Yeah, it does. It makes it look like it's intentional. It was
Yeah,
planned, and that's important. Another great little, offering here. This is gorgeous. All kinds of
yeah.
cupcakes and tiered, and just very inviting for people.
Thank you. And so I have some of those serving utensils or dishes or platters. And sometimes I had a bride who had a platter from every person that was close to her and that they used in their home to kind of
Oh,
initiate a tradition of love and start with love. And I've had others that are just like put them on the table and make it look pretty. So we try to accommodate whatever you're looking for.
well, I mean, it depends on how much detail the couple want to go into, and I
Yeah.
know Mary Lynn also sees that too. And couples come through, and they have a certain level of involvement, and they want it. They know how they want it, and um, not to be sexist, but a lot of I'll say little girls, but they knew what they wanted for the wedding when they were
100%.
young, right? Right,
Yep. Yep. They
and
wanted the big fairy tale, right?
yeah, and this has been planned in their head or in scrap paper or in a box somewhere for years, and they know what they want. So that's it's an honor to pull that off for couples.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of pressure because you don't want to disappoint when everybody's emotionally charged, but it's a lot of fun to bring that tasty and pretty element to somebody's wedding.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to show this one here. This is another. Is that gold leaf? That's
It is.
gorgeous.
Yep, it's edible gold leaf. It's 24 karat gold that's pressed really, really thin, but it's edible. Um, it just adds a little bit of sparkle, and so you can have a more simpler cake, but then you add that, and it tends to really fancy it up a bit.
Well, it's elegant, right?
Yeah.
Makes for a very elegant cake. And then this one here, beautiful flowers in that. That's
Yeah. So the bride provided the flowers and just asked that they were arranged in a way to. She had a very specific idea in mind of what she was looking for. Wanted it to be natural, kind of in the same shape as the bouquets, and so and then when you're using flowers, you don't actually want the stem in the cake. So each flower is also individually wrapped,
mhm,
so that when it's in the cake, it doesn't transfer anything into the food itself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very, very important because you don't want people getting sick from what might leach out of a pesticide out of a flower. So
Absolutely. And eucalyptus is poisonous, so
who knew, right?
you don't want to shove that in a cake.
No, no. So I mean, we've all watched a million different wedding shows where they see the baker or the cake artist show up with the cake out of the back of the truck. Do you deliver them as well? Like, do you bring
I
them and
do.
set them up?
Yep.
Any stories?
Yeah, I've dropped a cake before.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, I dropped a cake. Actually, it was a wedding at the Retro Suites, and I pulled up, and a car almost ran into the back of my vehicle that was parked, and it startled me, and I dropped the cake. I will never forget it, but somehow I was able to recreate it and get it there before the wedding started. So,
Wow. It's
but
not like you have a backup cake at home, right?
no, not
No,
usually.
not usually. Usually. You have some fun cakes. I want to show this one here, and I'll show the close up of this as well.
Yeah. So that was a gift of a wedding cake to a sister. And I guess the sister was a very passionate rock climber and was also very attached to her dog. So the sister asked for a multi-tier cake of a rock climbing sister rescuing a dog.
Mm.
And the husband was supposed to be kind of off by the side, not screwing things up and not tangling the lines.
Husbands wouldn't do that.
No.
Here's a closer shot too.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
That's a very unique, very specific cake to make. So
100%.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, they were very right down to the color of the clothing and wanting the animated face as
Mhm.
opposed to like a realistic sculpted face. They were very, very specific to what they wanted.
Well, you did a great job.
Thank you.
So, as a wedding professional, and you guys are definitely wedding professionals, I've been asking if people have tips. We're putting together a book that's going to be at the end of the series that people can download, and it'll have all kinds of tips and tricks from you guys, and so just to sort of get a little bit of the tip train going, I thought maybe I'd ask if you guys have any tips for us, but we'll see them on the other side. Just give it a quick thought while we come right back. So our tips and tricks are sponsored by With This Ring, which is one of the most memorable wedding officiants around. Because I always leave a mark when I'm there. But Mary Lynn, do you want to go first? Do you have a tip?
Sure. I kind of had one, and I've said it, and that's that I think you should have a registry. I think it's a good idea. But I have another one, and it's from my own mistake at my wedding, and didn't realize it for about 2 or 3 weeks afterwards. And then somebody else who was getting married mentioned something to me, and I went, oh. So I had DJs, and I wanted dinner music played, and I did not feed them dinner.
Oh.
Just completely forgot that they would need to be fed as well as everybody else. And when I realized it, I was horrified.
Yep.
So I'm just going to say that because I think it's an easy thing to not think about it just didn't occur to me. And those poor guys sat there and
yeah.
I think they got some pizza when the pizza came in at around 10.
They're probably starved by then.
They were playing some really bad music. No food all night. So don't forget, just make sure you get everything.
Feed your pros that are there. Yeah, they're there all day. Nina, anything?
I would say, and this again comes from personal experience, for all of the organization and emotion that goes into planning a wedding, when the day of your wedding gets here, you just have to let everything go. You no longer have any kind of control over what's going to happen. So we had a cake that fell, champagne flutes that broke, flowers that arrived dead. Everything went wrong with our wedding that could go wrong, but it was still the best day of my life. So let that stuff go because nobody knows about it but you, and enjoy the whole reason for the day. Oh, we can't hear you, Doug. You're muted.
Can't hear you, Doug.
There we go. I had a tickle. So I'm going to give a tip that I think really aligns with Mary Lynn. You're selling large paintings, large gifts, very breakable things. And I think one of the nicest things you could do if you've ordered a gift and you're maybe gone into this together is to have it delivered well in advance of the wedding day itself. Because you're not going to walk in with a 5x5 painting all wrapped up and bring it in there. They've got to get that home. So if you can take care of the delivery of that large gift or that precious gift in advance of the wedding, I think that, or post wedding, I think that really makes a lot of sense, because then at the end of the night, someone's got to get all that stuff out of the hall or the venue and get it, to the couple's house or to the mom's house. So that's employ people to help with that. But if you can get it there to them in advance, I think that's really a good way to go.
Yes, so we do delivery as well if it's within Chatham-Kent, so the whole Chatham-Kent region. So if it is a large, like we have a couple of pickup trucks, so
nice.
So we will deliver too if that's a need, if it's needed.
Yeah, and not everyone can put a large paint in the back of their car, and
sometimes cars aren't big enough. Yeah,
that happens. So I think it's important for people to realize that there's a lot of pros that have a lot of knowledge, who have seen a lot of weddings, a lot of things go sideways and things go right. So it's always important to talk to your pros, get to know them, take the time, book some time with them, whether it's booking it to do a registry, or maybe taking a little extra time at the consultation when you are picking out your cake and your flowers. And so talk to your pros. They have a lot of knowledge and they know a lot of people in the industry. So by all means, that's, I think, an important thing to do. Any last minute thoughts before I cut you guys loose?
Enjoy it. It's over so quick.
It is.
Very true.
Because what you said today, Nina, is exactly like I had friends that just said, make sure you stop
Yeah.
and enjoy the day. Like take it in, because it's hard to take it in because you're just flying by the seat of your pants all day long.
At that point, you can't change anything. You can't change anything. You can't fix it. So just let it go and enjoy it, because it is over so quickly.
It is.
Yeah. I've always been somewhat adjacent to the wedding industry, and I have this rule with every couple. And I get to the wedding early, and I always talk to the DJ, and I say, okay, listen, I want whatever song the couple are coming in on, I want you to play me 30 more seconds at least, maybe even more. I'll give you the look when it's time to stop, but just don't stop it, because that when she or he gets down front, I need 30 seconds for the three of us to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Because you have been rushing all day, and it's been a whirlwind, and you're about to make a commitment and a promise in front of everyone. So that 30 seconds is paramount when I do a wedding, just so we can have that the shoulders come down, you're a little more relaxed. You can, dive into this a little more with the heart and not just the head. So
100%.
yeah, great.
I have one other faux pas that we went through too, Doug. So, and it was so silly, I couldn't even believe it. But my dad picked me up for the wedding. My husband was at a friend's house getting ready, the best man's house getting ready. So the best man brought him. So the end of the night came, and we had not planned for how to get home. And we had you have gifts to take, right? Like it wasn't like you just go call a cab, because you have your gift table. So that was another little thing that happened. We were lucky we had somebody on our street was there still at the time it all ended. And so they were able to, and they had a van, so they were able to load us up and take us home.
Yeah, you kind of want to go home. It's been a long day. So. Excellent. You guys want to hang out while I say goodbye to these folks? I'll come get you in a second. So there you have it. Episode 3, season 7 of talking about the wedding pros that can help you go further. Thank you for tuning in. If you know a bride or a groom or a couple that are getting married, they may very well want to, reach out to one of our pros here. They have a lot of knowledge and they're here to help. So until next time, thank you and have a good night.